So, Venom 3 or Venom The Last Dance has dropped this evening, even though technically tomorrow is the release date. Third film in a franchise that has had mixed reviews from fans and critics, but yet has made enough money that we keep getting the movies, and clearly people are loving them. So, what does this final, as they say, installment of the Tom Hardy Venom franchise, what's it like? Is it terrible? Is it good? Does it live up to the others? Or does it fall flat on his face? Well, I got a chance to see it, so let's talk about it. This is Unedited Reviews, Venom The Last Dance. So let me preface this by saying I went back the past 2 nights and rewatched the first two Venom films. And I'm really glad I did, because it reminded me just how much I loved these films, how much fun they were, how great the action was, the characters, the relationships, what they've been through, the interactions between Eddie and Venom. It reminded me how much I loved the films. So I was really excited going into this movie. Some people had said, oh, it's the best movie, but they all suck. It still sucks, but it's the best of the three. Oh, it's the best movie, and I love all of them, and this is still the best. So I had very high hopes. So I walked in with my tickets, because me and my wife went, picked up the Venom popcorn bucket from AMC, which, let's take a look at this real quick. I like the symbiote, how it glistens here, the look of it. You got our little buddy here, very, very top heavy. But we're not here to review or talk about the popcorn buckets. We're here to talk about the movie. So I went in with high expectations. I'll just say right off the bat, I definitely need to see this movie again, because I feel like I was missing something as I was watching it. Something didn't quite click. But the movie itself, there was something about it that I felt like it's missing some element. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I mean, it definitely was still had funny moments. I don't really remember the lines like I do from the first two, some of them. Maybe the humor just wasn't as prominent as the first two. I felt like we needed a little bit more time with some of the other characters that they introduced, because it was like, I knew why they were there. They were important to the story. But it was also like, well, wait, we need a little bit more time with them. We need to learn a little bit more about them. And then there's another cast. There's a family in it that I'm like, I don't know if we needed that. I feel like we could have done maybe something different, but it was also funny. It did add to some very funny moments. And some of the ones I remember are with the family. But it definitely starts off right away very dark. It's boom. Spoiler alert if you didn't watch the second trailer. Null's in the movie. I'm pretty sure you knew that. Null's right at the beginning. It comes in and we get the backstory of what's going on. We get our exposition, but we get it in a very interesting way. And then we're right into the story. We're right into the action. We're into Brock's and Venom's life, what's going on. We get to have a cool scene, fight. We get to see that they truly become one because of how they're working together to fight. And yeah, that we go through the movie. I don't want to give away anything. I'm trying, like I said, there's no spoilers here. Unless you consider stuff that is in the trailers to be spoilers, then sure. But we go through the movie. There's a lot of good action. I like the look of a lot of the characters we get. I found it very interesting. But I felt at the same time that, like I said, I was missing something. It didn't have the exact same flavor as the first two. Now I'm hoping that going back a second time, knowing what's coming, I can back off a little bit and enjoy it more for what it is. Because it sounds like I'm bashing on this film and saying it's terrible. It's not. It's good. It definitely has emotion to it. If you've been invested with these characters for the past two films, you're going to be invested with them here. And they really feed off that. The movie feeds off your past experiences with these two characters, with Eddie and Venom primarily. And some of the other characters too that, are thrown in here for fun. But yeah, the action is still just as good as far as I'm concerned. The discussions between Eddie and Venom still really work. I still love that. I love seeing Venom come up from Eddie's back and looking at him so they can actually talk. Venom looks great. And yeah, I mean, I know I'm kind of just babbling a little bit now, but it's because I'm still trying to figure this film out for me. I don't think it's bad. I really don't. I don't know, though, if I can say it's the best one. Again, after a second viewing, maybe I'll change my mind. Because this film, for me, definitely focuses more on the story. And the interactions between the two characters. Really wants you to focus on their relationship, their symbiosis, their partnership, their friendship, whatever you want to call it. And I think the entire cast does a great job. Of course, Tom Hardy is fantastic as Eddie Brock, as fantastic voicing Venom. You've got Channing Ejiofor. I know I said that wrong. He's fine. He's good. Character's good. I basically forget everybody else. Riot Earls, I think the guy who plays the Lizard in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, he's in it. He's entertaining. The actress who plays the Doctor, she's good. There's a lot of good things in this movie. I just feel like, again, there was something missing. And I feel like it's the humor. I feel like they focused more on story and the humor just wasn't there as much. Because like I said, there's not really many lines that stick in my head like the first two. But it still looks great. I don't want to spoil too much, but I will say there's a bunch of great looking characters in here. They really do a great job. The story definitely flows. Again, I wish this movie is about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, not counting the end credits, which there is a mid-credit scene and there is a post-credit scene. The mid-credit scene is important, but I'll be honest, the post-credit scene, it's a joke, which even I'm still trying to figure out exactly what they were suggesting. So it's not one you necessarily need to stay for. There are hints of things that in my brain I started to go, I wonder. I started to form my own theories about the film and about where certain things could possibly go. And yeah, it's a roller coaster ride. It's an emotional roller coaster ride too. This is in the trailers. The whole Venom and Miss Chen scene is fantastic. That's probably my favorite part of the movie. It's just, there was a lot of things I was trying to analyze. And I'm having a hard time, as you can probably tell, trying to talk about this without giving too much away, but also just talk about it myself. Because I'm still processing everything. I'm still trying to figure it out. Not like, what the heck happened? Not in that way. But I'm thinking about it myself. And trying to think, how do I feel about this film? I definitely recommend it. I'm going to say right now. I recommend, go out. It's a good film. It's well made. It's well done. And it's a good story. I think I've said that a couple times. I'm not saying in any way that this is a bad movie. And if you liked the first two films, you're going to like this one. If you didn't like them, then you're probably not going to like this one. The one other issue, though, I kind of noticed was they did a lot of evening shots. This movie is literally and figuratively dark, because there's a lot of times that they're fighting at night or in dark places. That does make it hard to see at times. I mean, I guess some people are gonna say, "Oh, they're hiding the bad CG," which maybe that's what they're doing. But it also just, with the way the story moves, it's like, well, it would make sense that it's nighttime. But at the same point, there's definitely a lot more darker expectations or darker things that are happening. And you might be like, well, how can you top things being dark with carnage and Cletus and mass murdering and all that? One word. No. Plain and simple. No. And I do want to mention that the director and producers of this film have said that this is an origin story for Noel. That they do intend to use Noel more. So, keeping that in mind, I think they did really good stuff with Noel here. He looks creepy. He sounds creepy. This is going to be a bad guy. Somebody that I can see you don't want to mess with. The minions, the insect-like creatures that you've seen in the trailers, they're fine. I mean, they definitely present themselves as a challenge, and they're hard to beat because they are one of the main challenges you gotta face, and they're important to the story. But it also feels like you want something more. It's like, you gave me Riot, you gave me Carnage, and now I got insects. Like, okay. But I definitely feel like this movie, they did a good job with it. I definitely recommend it. I encourage you to check it out. And who knows? Who knows what's going to come from this? I think fans, I've watched one or two videos where fans are like, well, they dishonor Noel here. They do this. It's like, let's just enjoy the movie. Can we just do that? And there are other plans and other things that Sony's apparently doing. But how would I rank this? Well, let's see if I can remember my ranking system. I would give this right off the bat. I'm going to go sidekick, because there's a lot of things I like. There's a lot of things the nerd in me was trying to figure out or noticed. So yeah, I definitely recommend, if you enjoyed the movies, if you like Venom, I can definitely recommend this film. But let me know, what do you think? If you've seen it by the time you check out this review, what were your thoughts? No spoilers, please. I don't want any spoilers other than trailer stuff. If it's in the trailer, it's fair game as far as I'm concerned. If you haven't seen it yet, are you excited for this film? Do you not care about this franchise? Did you think the first two movies were just terrible and you just have no desire to see this one at all? Or have you lost all faith in Sony after Madam Web and Morbius? Whatever your thoughts, comment down below. Hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget the most important thing. Enjoy what you love. Read what you love. And let's all work for a better fandom. I'll see you next time.